She told me it was only a quick business trip, a 2-day conference in Miami. Nothing important, she insisted as she zipped up her suitcase. But there was something in the way she avoided my gaze in those last moments before she kissed me goodbye. Felt rehearsed off. I wanted to trust her. I really did. We'd been married for years, shared a life, a rhythm. But lately something had shifted. She was constantly on her phone, clutching it like it held secrets. Her smartwatch buzzed endlessly, and she would check notifications discreetly, turning slightly away so I couldn't see. The warmth between us was slowly slipping, replaced with excuses and quiet distance. Still I stayed silent. Not yet. I needed proof, something undeniable. When she told me she was leaving Thursday morning, I smiled, hugged her, said I'd miss her. But inside I was already setting things in motion. Her name is Madison, and she thought she was clever. What she forgot, what she never considered, was that months ago I had helped her sync her smartwatch with our home network. Supposedly for sharing playlists, tracking workouts. She never thought twice about it, but I remembered. The night she left, I stayed awake. I watched her fitness data roll in at 11 p.m. Hours she should have been asleep in a hotel bed. Her heart rate spiked. Movement logged at 3 a.m., a location tag appearing somewhere far from her supposed Miami hotel. That's when it clicked. This wasn't work. This was personal. We were meant to visit her parents that weekend for her dad's retirement party. A big affair, speeches, food, family. Instead, I told them she'd been delayed at work. I still came. Everyone was disappointed, especially her dad, who had always treated me like one of his own. That stung even more knowing what she was actually doing while he waited. They had a large smart TV in the living room, compatible with her smartwatch's mirroring feature. Same brand, same system, all devices synced through our shared cloud. Had full access. I greeted everyone, stayed polite, normal. Then I waited. Halfway through dinner, her dad stood to give a speech. Everyone laughing, sharing memories. That's when I acted. I announced a surprise from Madison, a message she wanted to share. Heads turned. Her mom clapped, smiling. I pulled out my phone, opened her synced cloud, mirrored her watch to the TV. The screen lit up. Her name appeared. At first just fitness data, steps, heart rate. Someone joked about her dedication to exercise. Then notifications came through. Messages from an unknown name. Miss you already. Last night was amazing. You forgot your hoodie, babe. Then the photos. Selfies in bed, wine glass in hand, a man's arm around her shoulder. More pictures. The same man, shirtless, kissing her neck. Timestamp. Location tagged. Not Miami. Not a conference. A private Key West beach rental. The room fell silent. Her mom gasped. Her brother tensed. Her dad just stared, speechless. I said nothing. Let it play. Then I opened her messages to make it undeniable. Wish we didn't have to hide. Maybe someday we won't. Whispers of, "What the hell?" rippled. I stayed calm, arms crossed, heart racing, and said finally. She said it was a business trip. I thought you all deserved the truth. Her mom looked shattered. Her dad walked out wordless. Her brother clenched his fists. I didn't answer when he asked who the man was. Her messages spoke for themselves. One read, "Don't worry. He suspects nothing. Just act normal when I'm back." Her mom whispered, "This can't be real. Must be someone else's device." "It's hers," I said quietly but firmly. Synced through our cloud. Messages, photos, watch. Nothing left to hide. I played one last file. A voice memo of her talking to herself, forgetting it was saved. "Note to self," she said. "Book the rental under a fake name next time. Don't risk the receipt showing dates." Another memo. "He's suspicious. Think he saw a text. Need a fake work emergency." Pause the recording. I looked around at the people who had welcomed me, celebrated our marriage, and now I was revealing what their daughter hid. I didn't want to do this, but I needed proof I wasn't imagining things. Now I was sure. Her mom wiped tears, stunned. "Why lie?" "Because liars protect appearances," I said. Her brother asked what I'd do next. No hesitation, I'm done. Lawyer contacted. Divorce papers filed. She'll be served this week. Silence fell, not heavy but final like a door closing. I said my goodbyes soon after. Didn't want to linger in that house amid wreckage. I'd said what needed to be said. They'd seen what they needed to see. That night her calls came. One, then another, followed by texts. First angry. How could you do this at my parents' house? Then fear crept in. Ryan, please just talk to me. And then came the guilt trips. You humiliated me in front of everyone. That was cruel. I didn't respond. I didn't block her either. I simply let the silence speak for me. I wanted her to sit with it, to feel the weight of her own words reverberating unanswered into the stillness. I wanted her to understand how deafening truth becomes when there are no more lies left to cover it. But then, at 2 a.m., the most pitiful text arrived. I didn't mean for it to go this far. No one ever does. No one sets out to ruin a marriage. They just fail to stop themselves when the fire is right there, burning in their hands. The days that followed were quiet. I kept my distance from mutual friends, blocked out the gossip, buried myself in work. But the fallout came fast. Her family stopped defending her. Her mother called me, not her, to apologize. She said she hadn't understood what her daughter was going through, that Madison had made terrible choices. I thanked her, but I couldn't forgive on Madison's behalf. That wasn't mine to give. What I hadn't expected were the people who reached out with their own stories. Friends, co-workers, even a college roommate from years ago. Turns out, this wasn't her first betrayal, just the first that couldn't be hidden. Once I realized that, I understood this was never just about me. It was about who Madison truly was when no one was watching. This time, though, everyone was watching. I thought the hardest part would be the betrayal itself. Seeing the photos, reading the messages, watching it all unfold on the TV while her family sat in stunned silence. But what hit harder was the quiet afterward. No lies, no excuses. Just the raw, heavy weight of truth lingering in the room like smoke after a fire. Madison tried repeatedly to reach me. She showed up at the house one night, crying, knocking, begging me to talk. I didn't open the door. I stood on the other side, listening. She claimed it was a mistake, that it wasn't real, that she wanted to end it and fix things. But she didn't mean to fix us. She only wanted to fix the story, mend her carefully curated image. I stayed silent. When she left, I watched from the upstairs window as she lingered in her car, maybe hoping I'd come out. I didn't. That was the last time I saw her in person. I thought that would be the end, but it was just the start. The man she cheated with, Tyler, worked in another branch. I only figured it out because he was tagged in a hidden photo folder. A former co-worker said he had a reputation for harmless flirting, but this wasn't harmless. I didn't confront him. The story spread on its own once a party video circulated. People connected the dots. One cousin posted a cryptic quote about betrayal. Within hours, everything unraveled. Madison wasn't just facing the end of our marriage. She was facing exposure. Friends unfollowed her. Family went silent. Those who had defended her vanished. Then her dad, who hadn't spoken to her since the party, emailed me a few lines. He thanked me for handling it with respect, said he was heartbroken and disappointed, but appreciated how I treated his family. I lingered on that email. I hadn't expected it, but it reminded me that even when trust shatters, truth still matters. Meanwhile, I moved forward. I boxed up her belongings. Not out of anger, just necessity. One night she texted asking where everything went. I sent her the storage unit address and code. That was all. Nothing more than fair. Real healing began when I reclaimed pieces of myself. I ran again, joined a photography group I'd wanted to try, reconnected with lost friends. Every small step was taking a piece of myself back. One weekend, I drove to the coast alone. No distractions, just me, the ocean, and wind. I sat for hours. No phone, no noise. For the first time in a long while, I felt peace. Not the forced kind that helps you survive toxicity. The real kind. The kind that feels like air after being underwater too long. That's when I realized. Madison didn't destroy me. She revealed herself. She exposed the truth of who she was, to me and everyone who had believed in her. That truth, painful as it was, became a gift. I could rebuild something genuine. I started journaling everything. Not just the pain but the lessons. Somewhere along the way, I realized I wasn't writing a story of heartbreak. I was writing a story of return. Not revenge, not to prove anything to her, but to prove something to myself. Weeks later she sent one last message. I hope someday you'll forgive me. I'll never forgive myself. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Forgiveness isn't something you grant someone else to make peace. It's something you give yourself when you're ready to move forward without needing anything from them. I let go of wanting her to hurt like I did. That's when freedom came. I didn't hate her. Hate would mean I still cared. By then there was nothing left. No love, no hate, just space. Space between the people we once were and the person I was becoming without her. The divorce went smoothly. No courtroom battles, no drawn-out arguments. She didn't contest. Maybe shame. Maybe disappearing. Either way, I signed the papers and walked away lighter than I'd felt in years. What she did taught me that trust is everything. A relationship without honesty is like a house on sand. Beautiful but doomed once shaken. Afterward, I spent more time with people who grounded me. My brother and I reconnected. He had doubts about Madison but stayed silent. Now we grabbed burgers on weekends, talked football, ordinary drama-free life. Friends suggested dating. I wasn't rushing. I wasn't replacing anyone. I focused on healing and figuring out the kind of partner I wanted, someone loyal when life gets hard. One evening I went to a small rooftop event. Music, drinks, a calm crowd. That's where I met Claire. No fireworks, no instant chemistry, just an easy conversation. We talked photography, bad movies, how good people make terrible decisions. I didn't share my story immediately, but weeks later I did. She didn't pity me. She said, "You deserved better." That was it. No drama, just understanding. That's when I knew. Healing isn't revenge. It's proving to yourself you can survive, grow, and come out wiser and stronger. I don't know where Madison is. I don't care. Her regrets aren't mine to manage. She made choices, I made mine. But this I'll say. Exposing lies with their own words, in front of those they swore would never know, that's justice. Not through shouting, not fighting, but by stopping the cover-up and letting truth speak. And truth always speaks loud enough when you stop protecting it. So if you've been deceived, cheated on, or made to question your instincts, remember. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You gave love to the wrong person, but that love is still yours.